It's not a new thing that Canada's military has been mired with controversy, whether it's not Canada not meeting its 2% NATO commitment or procurement woes like the Victoria-class submarines that had 1960s electrical work done for something that was built in the 80s and spent more time in Canada on land than it did in water. And there have been numerous procurement delays or equipment failings or just inadequate purchases. Now, currently, low recruitment levels pose a new threat to the CF in terms of operability. Now, it's been a long time since Canada's had an overall defense policy and showing a true direction, and that being coupled with a foreign policy as well. Now, that's precarious in a time of influx on the global stage. Now, I've been reading some of the new reports coming from D&D over the past couple months, and there's been a new tagline within those reports: lack of clear policy direction. Now, how can we maintain, equipped, or ready our troops if there's a lack of clear policy direction? And again, that also means foreign and defense ministries. That's what we're going to discuss today.
Getting back into UN peacekeeping operations was a big priority for the Trudeau government. It was a matter of debate between Harper and Trudeau during the 2015 Monk Foreign Policy debate, and Canada held the UN Peacekeeping Ministerial in Vancouver 2017. Now, peacekeeping operations had markedly changed over time, and it was recognized by the Trudeau government. And in the words of the Prime Minister,
well, times have changed. Now, all too often, there is no peace to keep. The conflicts we face today are intractable, more dangerous, and more complex. Modern peace operations take place in a context that transcends borders and includes a challenging range of actors: fragile and failing states, militia groups, non-state actors, organized criminals, and now, of course, terrorists.
Now, there were pledges for a 200 personnel quick reaction force for peacekeeping operations due to the changing nature of peacekeeping operations. But the latest report from D&D stated that peacekeeping operations have been numerically declined since 2005 and have reached historic lows with only 22 CAF personnel deployed on UN peacekeeping operations. The Arctic is heating up as a regional hotspot, as Russia is trying to develop its northern sea route, which has been fabled since the age of the Tsars, and China is helping out too. The Harper administration and the Trudeau administration have tried to make this as a focal point. Apparently, Canada even has its own Arctic ambassador now under Trudeau. But D&D came out with this report saying the lack of clear objectives leads to a fragmented approach to the defense in the Arctic. What Canada needs to do is fundamentally break everything down to its grassroots. Can we house, feed, and clothe our troops? Do military families have enough resources to thrive? What policies do we have to support them? No beans, no means. Then we can move into the bigger questions and policy directions. What does Canada need from its military? How are we going to deploy them and exert foreign policy direction? What is our foreign policy direction? What do we need to tackle on the world stage with our allies and also without them? Once we have those questions asked and answered, then we can effectively have the Canadian Armed Forces. However, that means that the government will have to be courageous. And that's something that the BBC's political sitcom Yes Minister, Sir Humphrey Appleby, warned. A brave decision was one that would lose you votes, whereas a courageous one was one that would lose you the election. In regards to Canada's military, historically, seldom governments have been the slightest of courageous. However, these questions need policy answers, or we'll be looking down the wrong end of the barrel.